Welcome into the Casual Gaming Conversation. I'm Connor. That's Nick. This is your weekly gaming podcast from Co-op 64. We got a doozy for you this week. A little bit in a weird middle period right now where there's not a lot going on in the industry. It seems like the quiet before the storm.
Thank God.
Before a few more games coming out, and then we got showcase season coming up in June and everything. Probably
Best time of the year, baby. Best time of the year.
But for right now, we're just going to come at you with our industry gut check is what I'm calling this. Just kind of going through each of the major players, seeing how we're feeling about Xbox, Nintendo, and PlayStation and their futures in the industry right now and what's going on. And, of course, the draft and the hot takes as always. But, Nick, how you doing?
I'm doing good. We're shooting on a Saturday, which is really nice because normally Sunday takes up my whole day of we shoot and then I edit all night. But we're shooting in the morning. Then I get to enjoy WrestleMania tonight and a bunch of other stuff. And then tomorrow I'm going to edit in the morning and then get to enjoy a night. So I'm feeling really good on the weekend. We just saw Jeff Rosenstock last night. What a show.
Insane.
Shout out to Gooperman, who was awesome, rocking with us. One of our mods we got to meet last night, which is always cool to meet
shout out
anyone.
to the people who saw us and recognized us and said hello. Always nice to meet fans and people who enjoy our content. So that was pretty cool.
But I'm feeling great. How about yourself?
Good. Like you said, shooting on a Saturday, but we're going to Micro Center after this. Finally pulling trig on buying a beefy PC so we can stream from home. So I don't have to always be in Nick's apartment every Wednesday, which is going to be pretty nice.
We're spending thousands of dollars for me to have a free Wednesday. It's great.
Yeah,
I love it.
I'm excited to be able to play certain next-gen games like Hellblade 2, which is apparently running at 30 FPS on Xbox, but I'll be able to play it on my new beefy PC.
Yep.
First game I'm booting up, Cyberpunk 2077, baby.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I'm so stoked. I played it on a 2060 and it ran okay. Like I was getting like 40 frames per second and it looked, no ray tracing, none of that. Just looked okay, looked fine, but it's still one of my favorite games of all time. So booting that up later. Very excited. They're going to build it for us there, which is nice.
Yes.
I think we're going to go with a 4080 is what we've been talking about.
Yeah, that's, I think, the number that we're throwing out there. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good little afternoon. It's always fun to swipe the card and get some new tech in the building.
Right. Only possible with you guys. Like we said, all the anything that we make from this company from it goes back into making
trying to
better.
make better content. And also just like the one thing that we really are lacking is a place to review a game with the best specs possible,
right?
And, that is
get the highest possible quality, because I think that is valuable information for a lot of people who game on PC. And if I were to review a game on PC on my 2060, it's a completely different experience than what most people are probably
100%.
having who are into PC. So it's important to have that framework to be able to review a game.
And also it frees up things like the awesome, exciting last thing that we owe from Extra Life, which is you playing through The Last of Us grounded mode.
Which I want to do from my own apartment.
That's going to be, once again, this just we talk a lot about with this channel freeing up hours. It's really hard for me to find time to review games and have free time on the weekends and stuff like that. And even Wednesdays, like recently, the past couple Wednesdays, I've been in the other room playing games when you've been streaming for a couple hours, just to get more time playing games and everything. But this will free up my entire Wednesday. 5 o'clock rolls around. I don't have to set up stream here. I don't have to do a lot of things. So I'm super stoked for it, for that aspect. But also it's going to make the content better. It's going to make our discussions better. And so shout out to you guys for allowing awesome things like that, supporting the TikTok and everything.
And being able
to,
like you said about time and everything, and getting time back, having to not drive over here at 6 and just get right onto stream at 6:45 or whatever, have that 45 minutes back, and then not have to drive home after tearing down the set and everything after stream. That's another game changer. I know these things sound so trivial, but gaining back 2 hours on a Wednesday, that could get me more involved playing more games and have more time to review something retro and because that's going to be a big part of the channel going forward. And
also
to get that all together,
just to quell some fears. Is that the word for it? Quell? Just to remove some fears. We understand still we are at our best when we are together in the same room creating content together. This isn't going to be something that just changes the formula so much. It's more Wednesday streams. The solo streams have always been intended to be solo streams. Group stream will still be here. It will always be us together on the couch. And then for the Saturday streams that are planned as group stuff, they will still be group stuff. But for the things that this just allows us a lot more freedom in the future to switch up some time, some space, and obviously make the product better. So that's what we're excited about. And yeah, so that's it's getting back to it. Excited to swipe the card. Connor, I know that you're not excited at all. I am so dialed in on WrestleMania tonight and tomorrow. I like this is gonna be the best weekend ever. I'm so excited to just chill out, edit a couple videos, and enjoy a weekend of wrestling and gaming and playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for a few more hours.
I'm just digging so deep into that. I mean, just a little update after the spoiler cast and everything. I'm 105 hours in. I keep finding new fun things to do. Like there's so much in this game that I have like a list of everything I need to do for the platinum, and then I keep adding to the list because I'm forgetting about certain aspects that I need to do. So that's been a lot of fun. Just been grinding out on that, but I gotta probably hop off and play something retro soon and just kind of like I want to bang something out real fast and be able to start writing a script or something. So.
Yeah, for me, the nice part is this weekend I now have enough time to hopefully finish Hellblade. I think 4 hours in on it. It's about an 8-hour game. And so I'm excited to hopefully finish that up this weekend. I finished chapter 2 of my hard mode playthrough of Rebirth on Wednesday, which Connor was over the shoulder being like, dude, you played this game so fast. Like, there's certain materia that I just didn't have.
Nick, there's no certain materia. Nick didn't item transmute the entire game.
I transmuted high potions and just like very basic stuff, but I wasn't going out of my way.
You didn't understand that like you could level up the transmutation.
I knew I could. I just was like, I'm just gonna buy things and keep going and move forward in that way. I just didn't worry about it.
For me, like I was transmuting stuff left and right.
Yeah. So
and leveling that up. Right now, I'm currently at the point where I have to unlock the final level. So you have to transmute everything.
Yeah.
Transmute everything. Like I need like 60 XP, and like I just need to find the items to do everything. But
that's awesome,
man. That's so good.
But
let's stop talking about Final Fantasy.
but Connor comes in and I was like, I cannot beat this boss. And he's like, are you doing this, that, and the next thing? And we got to the point that I the only reason I was able to beat it was I used a limit during their kill move, and it basically allowed me to stay immune during that kill move, and then I was able to close it out with bringing a couple quick revives. The music in this game during the boss fights, I think, is one of the most underrated parts of that game.
That's something that is kind of annoying, that like you don't get that spectacle or that like really crazy like moments when you're just grinding out all the side stuff right now. Like I'm excited to go back to hard mode and be able to actually get back to those
crazy part
scenes.
of you doing the platinum run and everything. You still need to play through the whole fucking game again on hard, and it's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into the hot takes.
I'm starting us out this week.
Okay, you got a good one?
Yeah, because Connor normally starts it out and sets the tone. I'm going to start us out with a fun hot take.
Okay.
My hot take, my gaming hot take for this week is mouse and keyboard. Throw it out the fucking window. Give me a controller every day of the week. I don't want it. I like Halo. I want to play Valorant on a controller. I want to play everything. A Halo on a controller. I want to play everything on a controller.
You're gonna get cooked, Nick.
It's okay. But mainly my thing comes down to give me the option. Give me the option always. As someone that always prefers playing with a controller, and I think that it's a lot easier to jump into because that's how a lot of people start is console gaming. Give me the option to play every single game with a controller.
That's so wild.
I don't want to be forced. And this comes down to like 60 versus 30. It comes down to achievements. Give me the option to go and play the way I want to play. It's not, this isn't a crazy hot take of like,
this is a crazy hot take.
I think that it's a worse way for me to play as a player that has grown up with controllers.
Is it just because you're not used to it and that's it?
I think I'm not used to it. I also think that I'm just not as like when I was playing through Halo Infinite, I played a lot on mouse and keyboard, and then I also played some on controller. And the entire time I was just like, I just want to be playing on controller.
Dude, I cannot play a first-person shooter not on mouse and keyboard at this point. My brain is broken. I cannot go back.
But it's okay to have that. But why can't I just for every game have the option? I'm mainly looking at you, Riot. Make Valorant a controller-based game, please.
That would ruin the game. You don't have enough buttons.
D-pad for all your abilities. 1, 2, 3, and then the mechanics of shooting. That is so easy.
Coming to console eventually.
Yeah, I think that is a surefire win.
You would also probably not do very well. Like,
I mean,
you're at a disadvantage by not playing on mouse and keyboard. That's why, like for R6, they don't let people for crossplay do competitive.
I understand, but for competitive, people have won Fortnite tournaments with controllers.
Yeah, I know
that is a third-person competitive shooter. Like, you are able to play an elite level with the controller. I'm mainly talking about the options.
Such a wild
I,
take.
I want the options, and so that is my hot take.
Most games do give you the options.
I understand. I want all games to give me the option.
Okay. My gaming hot take for this week is a spicy one.
Ooh.
I think a lot of people are going to disagree with this, but this is the way that I've felt for a long time. Character creators.
Oh, yeah?
I don't like them. I don't like them at all. Mass Effect 2, I go with basic Shepard. It doesn't matter every single time. And that's almost the case across the board for character creators in every single game. Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring. You're not even looking at the character half the time in a lot of these games. But in the games that do use your created character's face, like if you go hard and like really kind of try to tailor it, it always looks a little off. It always looks a little weird. And the big kicker for me is when you have a character creator. Shepard is probably the best example against this, where like he still acted and is still a character. For the most part, character creators take away from the individual character. They want you to step into their shoes, and they're not usually voiced because of that. And when they're not voiced, I can't really connect with them. They're usually just like a hollow individual with dead eyes, and I'm like, I don't like it. The example that we were talking about recently is Rise of the Ronin. Like, this would have been way better if you had like a Jin Sakai type character here that like actually interacts with everybody. But for the most part, your character is just kind of standing there like, well, everybody else is talking and like emoting, and your character is just like a nobody, nothing or whatever. Like, yeah, we'll go do that. Like, that's their entire character. I don't like it.
I think it's a great take. For me, the thing that I consistently think of is heroes. Like, if I want to be a hero, I want to be Chief. I don't need to physically change Chief to look like me or whatever. I just want to be Chief. I just want to be Joel Miller. I want to be Mario or Link or whoever. Just like, I completely agree that it takes away some of the personality that the writers are able to develop with these characters compared to making me have the option to step into the shoes of these characters.
Yeah, it's twofold because of that, and then also I think the characters almost always look goofy. I always try to like go really crazy on some of these character creators, spend like an hour doing it, and then I get into the game in the first cutscene, I'm like, you look fucking ridiculous. So
I think that BG3 works well with this, where like, where you're able to get ridiculous, but it comes down to that experience is supposed to be you create a character that you want to be.
Yeah, well, that's Dungeons and Dragons
exactly.
Too.
But
so,
that
it makes sense.
Purpose makes sense.
But in my mind, though, even playing my limited experience with BG3, I would have preferred that character to be a voiced, fully realized thinking character.
Got to give them the options. Got to give the options. All right, you ready to hop into the main topic?
Yeah. Almost burped in the mic. I feel like I do that every single week.
For me, it's when the Dr. Pepper starts flowing.
Oh yeah.
That the burp normally comes in around minute 45.
I'm a stomach ache girly. I got stomach problems, so I just am constantly just bubbling in there. Yeah. This week we're gonna talk about the industry, our video game industry gut check, and we're going to go through Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation, talk about where they're at, what we're looking forward to, what we think their future holds, and what their now holds, what they're doing currently. So let's kick it off with, I think we're going to go Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, because Nintendo's kind of separated from
the competition aspect
of it. Let's do Xbox, and I'm just going to kick it off with how we're feeling post Xbox games coming to PlayStation.
Yep.
Pentiment's already out, right?
Hi-Fi's also out.
Hi-Fi recently dropped, yeah. Sea of Thieves is or was the #1 most pre-ordered game on PlayStation for like a few weeks running.
Yep.
Grounded is also high up on the leaderboards. So these games are about to sell bonkers on PlayStation. There's been rumblings post all of this that this is not the end.
It's definitely not the end, but I don't think we're going to see major titles. I don't.
I do. I think that when Xbox sees how much these games are selling on there, that they would probably be stupid to not release more major games. My big kicker, my big one, the one that I think is perfectly suited, and they just recently said development and updates are stopping for, I'm pretty sure this is the case, for the Master Chief Collection. If the Master Chief Collection comes out on PlayStation, that game is done selling on Xbox. It is. Like, The people who have it on Xbox have it, and the people who have it on Game Pass have it.
To stay in the console space, you need exclusives. That is what.
But the Master Chief Collection is a Xbox One game.
This
is an old game.
I understand that.
I'm not saying all the Halos in the future are going to be exclusive, and I don't agree necessarily that you need to have exclusives to stay in the console space.
Why else would you buy the console?
Game Pass. That's what everybody has
that
argued
is true.
For years. The reason you buy an Xbox is for Game Pass. People on Xbox don't buy video games.
Yeah,
they buy Game Pass.
I know, and the simplicity of it all is why you buy it. I think that there is immense value in sort of just like these are such second-rate titles at this point. Sea of Thieves is the only one that I'm like.
Hi-Fi Rush,
but that's once again they didn't expect it to be as brilliant as it was. This was a throw it out day and date game that just so happened to fucking rock.
I think Starfield is going to come over. I think Indiana Jones is going to. I'm fairly confident that if they see the numbers that are about to drop from these first lesser titles, as you're saying,
yep,
that they would be stupid to not.
I also
rake
think that
in the cash.
Timed exclusivity matters, where it's like because I don't know.
I think that and based off of the rumblings from
just rumors,
from more Xbox insiders, which the thing is, from the beginning, I've kind of gone back and forth on this, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yep.
And there was rumblings about Xbox games coming to PlayStation, and then it was like, oh, is Gears coming? Is Halo coming? It got way out of control. But I think. Then I was like, oh, they're just wrong. They just completely got it wrong.
Though in that meeting we're not doing Starfield and we're not doing Indie? They said we have no plans of doing that for now, which I think that they could admit if that was the case. And honestly, I'm pretty sure they could get if their documents come out and say that there were plans, then there's some bullshit that you can claim you're advertising incorrectly. But I think that as of right now that is not the plan. And my main thing with Xbox and where I want to get this conversation to is the fact that they are winning this year so unbelievably hard right now.
I don't know that yet.
As of right now, they are. Where they're the one with an action plan.
Yeah, well, they haven't put out the games yet. I refuse to believe that any of these Xbox games are going to be anything great until they are in my hands and they are actually great. We've been burned for so long. They can't deliver the goods. They have not delivered the goods.
It looks, with the Hellblade previews that have come out, it looks like they got the goods with that one. It looks like it is a better version of Hellblade, and it is telling a great story.
Like an 8 out of 10. Which is great.
Which right now,
but is it God of War? Is it The Last of Us? Is it something like that? I don't think so. I don't think it can be.
I think
especially
it can
if it doesn't have a focus on good combat.
They said that the combat is better and tighter in this game.
Okay, better and tighter is not a huge step up.
I like the combat in Hellblade.
It's fine. It's passable.
I don't even think it's passable. I enjoy the 1v1 style, switching between who you're facing off against, using your parry, using your For me, this is great combat. Like this is it's not passable.
Where do you think Hellblade lands on Metacritic?
I think Hellblade,
84 is my guess.
My guess is 92.
Wow.
I think it's going to be one of the best reviewed games this year. And I think
is their but here's the thing about Hellblade though, at the end of the day, like it can review really well, but what does it mean for Xbox as a brand, for selling consoles, for selling Game Pass? Do you think it moves the needle in the same way that something like Starfield could have?
Oh no, this is a shorter experience. This is a $50 game. Like we got to remind ourselves that this is a $50.
What were they doing for so long?
I think that they were making the best 8-hour game ever. And when it comes to a visual experience and when it comes to an audio experience, the fact that it's not on 60 is, in your opinion, inexcusable. That's well documented at this point. For me, I think that what Hellblade does very well is immerse you in with audio and visuals that are the top of the line, that are the best of the best. There's nothing that was going to look better than Hellblade this year. There's nothing that is going to put you in an audio experience that is going to be better this year.
I just don't care about that as much.
For me, Hellblade 1...
care about a fun video game.
Yeah, for me, the fun and interesting aspects is that. Right. The audio in that game and the way that you get to step into Senua's shoes, it's extremely impressive. I'm very excited to beat this game and get a definitive thought process on it. Like I said, about 4 hours in, about halfway through this game. And I think it's fucking awesome. I think it is a really great video game. And so with Hellblade 2 being a definitive step up, and like you said, it's a step up. This, if you thought that this was a 8 out of 10, this, I think that on the Co-op 64 scale, if I were to project what I'm going to grade this game, I think I'm going to give this game most likely any 8.5 to 9.5 range. If it's a step up,
that's what you're hoping.
Yeah, but if it's a step up, if like the previews are saying that this is a definitive step up and a better story. The big thing that hits me is that the amount of people that in the preview process are talking about the story being great.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
excites
the story
me.
was great in the first one too.
I think the story in the first one is one of the weaker aspects of it.
Well, it's okay. But for me, I think the games that I'm more excited about and more interested in and could be better are Indiana Jones and Avowed, personally.
I am more excited for Hellblade than Avowed for certain, because Avowed for me is big. It's Obsidian. It doesn't look. It seems like it's a open fantasy experience.
I don't think it's Skyrim level big. I think it's much more tailored and small.
I hope
like more like the Outer Worlds.
I hope that it's tailored and small, but I think that with the different environments that they're showing,
I think it's a 30-hour game.
Yeah, okay.
Similar to the Outer Worlds.
30 hours makes sense to me. 30 to 45. But
we'll see. Is that I want to see more, and we should see more in June.
What I'm saying is, with Xbox, Hellblade previewed amazingly, is a sequel to a very creative game and is going to be the best visual and audio experience this year. That is a huge check mark in their bag. 2, Avowed looks good. Looks like it could be really solid. I don't think it's going to review too well, but that's just my opinion on it. The combat doesn't seem too interesting. There is magic pistols where you can have a magic in one hand and a pistol in another. That's pretty fucking cool. But then the big thing is Indiana Jones. If it delivers this year, it's machine games, and it looks great. And it's machine games. Machine games makes great first-person games. And when we saw it was first person, we both rolled our eyes. We were both shocked. I called it, but I was still like, come on, I would prefer a third-person indie game. With that being said, it's machine games. You have to put the faith in them when it comes to their next big swing.
And it definitely differentiates themselves from Uncharted and
totally.
Tomb Raider.
And I think that that's a huge feather in their cap to be like, we're going to do something different that is in such a saturated genre that you've been playing for the past 20 years. Let's rock out Indiana Jones first person, let you step in the shoes of Indy, crack that whip, and go on some crazy set pieces. I hope that this game, and I know this might be I hope it's 12 hours. 15 hours. Oh, dude, if they come out and say this is 15 hours,
I think it'll be 15.
I'm going to be stoked.
15 sounds about right.
Because that means that the set pieces are going to be like as hype as possible. They're going to try to go with every single moment, make it 15 hours of jam-packed adventure.
The Great Circle.
It's the dumbest fucking name ever.
I would. This is a thought I just had. Like, I would argue that Starfield was their biggest game ever for trying to push Game Pass and trying to get people on the console or whatever, and it didn't do what it needed to do. It wasn't this game that blew the doors off. That's another game I would kind of like to return to on the new PC.
I'm very excited to hear you play that game, just like for a couple hours or whatever it is, and just give it a shot because you enjoy Starfield. I want to see what that is on a beefy rig.
Right, and then for the next up, I don't think Hellblade is going to move the needle that much. I don't think Avowed is going to move the needle.
I don't think it's going
to unless Avowed reviews real well. I think Indiana Jones just off of name recognition, and if it is great, that's their next big.
That's the big
title.
hit. That's what's going to bring in new people in the Game Pass and everything for sure. My main thing is if you're able to go and have a blockbuster with indie similar to, and I know that I'm not saying to the level of, because you can't really hit the level of IP that Spider-Man presents, but if you can have that be your Spider-Man where it's like just a great game. It's just a great fucking video game. They nailed the IP really well. They know what they're doing. It's a well-developed studio. It's great. And then you're able to get your artsy-fartsy experience with Hellblade, which is something that, from a critical standpoint, something we've been begging for from them. To give us a critical darling that is third-person, over-the-shoulder, something that's an amazing experience. The road is laid out so well for them. And then we get to the exciting point of they have a showcase announced now. Yeah. We understand we are getting
not announced, I don't think.
It's June 9th.
I think that was a
rumor. It's a rumor?
I think so.
I would bet a lot of fucking money that there's a June 9th showcase on the Sunday of this year. Sunday of June 9th. It's going to be Xbox taking their whatever stage.
Microsoft confirms June 2020.
Microsoft confirmed it? Let's you continue to look. That's
March 20th
really
for the confirmation. Yeah, that it's in June.
That's in June, but June 9th is a rumor.
Rumor.
Rumor,
Okay. 18 hours ago.
Great. I would bet my bottom dollar that, like, because it just makes sense. That's they for the past couple of years of Summer Game Fest have gone the Sunday after the Summer Game Fest showcase. The only reason I think it doesn't make sense is because from our standpoint and from an industry standpoint, you are 100% stepping on the shoes. I'm curious to see the numbers of people that fly down for Summer Game Fest this year for play days, because how are you going to be able to go to the show, react to Summer Game Fest, and also make it back in time to react to Xbox? It seems impossible.
Right. So let's talk about that showcase.
The showcase, I think that we're going to get the updates. We're going to get dates. We will get dates, and I'm okay if they delay Indiana Jones. I'm totally okay with it.
I don't think Indy's getting delayed. I think Avowed.
Do you think Avowed gets the push?
That's the one that gets.
Well, they said fall for that, and they just said 2024. Though
they barely showed.
They showed
Avowed.
10 minutes of Avowed,
but it was like one area.
Yeah, it was one area
and one enemy.
Yep. But we've seen Avowed.
Let's
in
move
2023,
off of Avowed, Senua, and
or 2022. We saw it too.
Let's move off of these three. Let's talk about the future. Let's talk about the showcase. Fable.
Yes.
Gameplay.
Yeah, 100%. Date. Year for sure.
Next year.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Perfect Dark. Have you heard of these rumors?
Yeah.
Apparently, it's developed. It's a thing again. It's fully like.
When was the last time we heard about this? Was it Game Awards?
It was Game Awards 21.
Oh my god, that's
no
wild.
Game Awards 2020. I think 2020 potentially.
That's wild.
Yeah.
We've only seen that like one
still shot, just a teaser.
Yeah, just a trail. Like just
her over like a
city.
A city. Yep.
Yeah. State of Decay 3. I'm hearing rumors.
Oh,
I've
totally.
Seen rumors
I mean, that's
they
already
shown that since the initial reveal either.
Oh, for me, State of Decay and Stalker are in the same place in my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, don't we have a date for it? No, yes. State of Decay, we haven't seen it.
We haven't seen it since the reveal.
The reveal in 2020.
Yeah.
And then a big one, Gear 6. Those rumors.
That seems almost
Jeff
guaranteed.
Grubb coming out and saying, giving the exclusive scoop of we're getting something Gears, which I also think of what all the people have been asking for. Gears collection 1 through 3, that also could be there.
That needs to
happen.
Exist.
Yeah. I want to play Gears with my buddies on the most modern shit right now. Like that's I have no desire to go and play Gears of War, a series that is so storied, but because I've watched so many creators play it in the past couple of years, it's like, oh, I don't want to do this.
But you can play. You can play it on Xbox.
On Game Pass right now, but
on Xbox, not on PC.
Though. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so
annoying. You can play 1, 4, and 5.
Yep. So anyways, but yeah, I would that would be awesome. Let's get those games up-res and ready to rock. Like I said, I feel like their pathing for the next couple of years is sort of, as long as they're able to hit a cadence, and this is what I've said for a long time, you need two bangers. Hopefully they're a little bit more spread out than 2021 had with Horizon and Halo Infinite. But if you give me 2 bangers, I'm talking 8.5 pluses. Those are really great video games.
Right.
If you're able to deliver 2 of those a year, you're doing a great job.
I just think that you need to 8.5. I don't know if is enough to change the perspective on Xbox. And is that fair? No, but just based off of them being.
Well, we've never seen a 9.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the issue.
Based off of them being behind for so long, that they need to come out with absolute bangers. And do I think Hellblade is going to be that? No. I think that if it's an 8.5, I don't think it moves the needle
I think, like I said, though, I think it's a 90-plus game. I think that this is going to be a tech. It needs to hit on a level of tech being just like the most impressive tech, but also delivering the goods of a great game. And I think it will. I really do after the previews went up. The issue with the previews that came out, and shout out to all the amazing people that wrote previews, we're not going to quote or anything, but we just understand that across the board they were amazing. It got completely overshadowed with the 30 headline. Yeah. Where it was, hey, it runs at 30.
It's crazy that they can't get that working.
It
doesn't make any sense. It's more, the Xbox Series is more powerful than.
Yep. There should be a mode.
PS5. It should be 60 on Series X, and it should be 30 on
I think
Series
that
S.
they are so dialed in on not giving up any graphical fidelity. Like because that game is all graphics. That is a huge part of that game that they might not be able to get it to 60. That for that game kind of makes sense in my mind. Mm-hmm. Where I'm like, a game like Avowed, where it's like the graphics aren't really there, you're not really pumping crazy graphics. Let's try to get that to 60 if we can get the combat to run a little bit better.
Yeah, but Starfield couldn't run at 60.
Yeah,
so.
it's no way it's going to. I'm at the point that I just don't think it's going to happen.
Last bit here. What?
Handheld, baby. We got to talk about this handheld. It's going to happen. We are getting a new, they said it, we're getting a new something this holiday, a new hardware. And it's going to be the handheld.
Yeah, probably.
If we get a handheld that has Game Pass on it, take my fucking money.
Well, you can technically play Game Pass on
it,
Steam Deck already.
It runs very poorly is the issue. And so to get a dedicated thing that I can play Pentiment, Hi-Fi Rush, Halo, like just these awesome games that I want to get.
I think everybody's going to follow suit with this.
Yeah.
PlayStation's going to do it as well.
The Portal, I think, is their answer for it, which kind of sucks.
No, it's not. They've said they're making another handheld.
Well, I mean, I'm excited.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I think it's going to be past. I don't think we're going to get the handheld for the PlayStation until
next year. That's my
next year.
Yes, yeah.
I think 2 years.
No way.
I think
if Xbox puts one out this year, they need to follow suit with it.
If it is out this year, yes.
They said it's holiday.
I think that they might. I might be wrong on this. It might be announced holiday.
Okay. Last thing for me that I was just thinking about, Xbox and Atlas have had a really good relationship these last few years. You could see Persona 6 at this.
This would be
easily.
insane.
Not exclusive,
also,
but just revealed.
Also, OD.
Oh, yeah.
OD or whatever game that is.
He seems really early in development on that.
Yeah,
they just showed it.
I think that we're going to see first and foremost DS 2 is going to come out, and then we'll hear from Kojima again later.
God damn.
It's tough.
Let's move to PlayStation, and PlayStation's in a weird
real
spot.
quick, this is the gut check episode. How you feeling? Just give me the gut vibes from Xbox.
I feel like I felt for the last decade cautiously optimistic, and because I felt cautiously optimistic for the last decade, I feel almost more like I don't believe anything at all that they say or do. I think Phil Spencer, like I said, is a clown and needs to not be heading up Xbox. They need fresh blood and they need fresh faces running that company and able to shepherd the herd into clearer pastures, I guess.
Yeah. For me, I am putting the clown makeup on. I'm in sign me the fuck up mode.
I've been doing that for years.
For
years I've been doing that with Xbox.
So my thing is, last year I was more excited for Redfall than Starfield because Redfall is a game that I like. That's my type of game. Where Starfield, I'm not known for loving Bethesda games, and that's fine. I hope everyone enjoys these games. It's just not for me. Whereas 2021, Halo, Forza Horizon, sign me up. This is once again sign me up mode where I'm like, we have 3 really solid horses in the race this year.
Mm-hmm.
Where last year we only had 2. We got 3 good horses in this race with Avowed, Hellblade, and Indy.
They missed on their 2 last year, so now you have 3, and it's like, well, okay.
Well, I think I feel really, and I think this is just a differing of opinions. I'm excited for both of us to play this game and get a review out for it and everything. I'm totally clown makeup on Halo. One last thing for a showcase, just general crazy. We're starting the predictions of this showcase early. I'm thinking Silksong. They got shown there. We now have it is rated, so the game is done because it's rated. It has to be done to be rated.
Means?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's submitted for. Yeah, I guess that's.
You have to submit a final product to get rated.
Shadow drop, maybe.
We've been saying it for so long.
Yeah.
I'm not going to believe it till I see it, but yeah.
All right, moving on to PlayStation. I feel like the big PlayStation conversation right now is twofold, really. 2024, in the lack of games, we have Concord. That's it.
Concord fly,
which we don't really know anything about. It's a multiplayer live service game. How are you feeling about Concord?
I'm in.
I'm interested in it, but man, like I don't care at all.
I've said it once and I'll say it a billion times. We got shown 4 live service games at the last showcase.
Which ones?
Concord, Fair Games, Marathon, and Helldivers.
Oh yeah.
And I said very plainly, we're gonna go over 4. There's not a chance that any of these games have any hitting power, staying power, nothing. The fact is, they're 1 for 1.
Yeah.
And I think that
Helldivers
there's
so good.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's one of those situations though that Helldivers like was already a proven studio. Arrowhead had made Helldivers 1.
Yeah, but it's such a different game that
it's not though. It's the same. It's literally the same game, but they moved it into third person.
That third person and let you run around and like that and have shooting mechanics and like all those are very different.
They already had. I'm saying they already had the template.
They had a template to. They're different genres. Like
they're not though.
What's a third person shooter? What's a strategy game?
They're strategy.
Isn't it top down?
Basically, it's top down, but you're running around in twin stick shooter.
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
Lowering the camera and going over the shoulder, I feel like is a very
but Fair Games, Haven,
don't care,
don't know anything about it really yet. But
Marathon's struggling.
Probably.
Yeah, they said Bungie is struggling with it. So
I'd be shocked if that game even ever comes out. Honestly,
it's going to come out. It's just going to come out in like 6 years and be rough.
Yeah, because Bungie's just falling apart completely. Yep. And then Concord, which is apparently coming out this year. I think this will be a really big test for PlayStation. And I would assert that if this sucks and it does not hit in the way that they think it's going to, I could see Sony just pulling the plug on fucking all of these live service games.
Yeah, for me, I'm just curious to see where the studios are at. Where it's like, do you guys want to be making these games? Like, do you want to be signing up to make a live service game? Because certain studios, I assert, do.
Well, Bend is now making a live service game as well, which sucks.
Bend,
because they're a good studio. Like they can make AAA games. And,
yes, they can.
And like I know that Days Gone didn't hit for some people, but like it was a good first step. I think if they had made Days Gone 2, it would be a lot better, and people like Days Gone a lot. It sold 6 million copies or something like that.
Yeah,
which is really good. Like for a smaller studio like Bend. So I am disappointed about their live service initiative. Still, I'm shocked that it's still kind of going forward in the way that it is. I could see them jumping ship after Concord. I said it was twofold. Let's go threefold, actually. The PlayStation Showcase, rumored for May now.
Showcase or state of play. I think that they said no major first party for this year.
Yeah.
Or sequels, especially. They're like, we're not getting Horizon, we're not getting Ghost, we're not getting any of the heaters. I think if they're able to come out with a state of play, don't say it's a showcase. Showcases used to mean something. Now they don't, because the last time you said it was a showcase because you wanted to do an hour and 15 minutes of bullshit. Come out, say it's a state of play, go for 40 minutes, have Silent Hill date, kick it off, throw in a time frame for Judas or Metal Gear Solid Delta, close it out with Astrobot this year.
So no announcements for next year.
Well, we don't. We know DS2 is next year. We know GTA is next year. We know that most likely Ghost 2 is next year.
In my opinion, you have to show something now. If there's nothing major coming out in 2024, you have to start generating excitement and hype so people are still buying your console. I think they could go crazy and announce DS2 and something else. The Uncharted game that has been rumored for a long time.
DS2's already.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Ghost 2.
That is the other thing that if you want to make it a showcase, it's actually really simple. You start with Astro, you close it with Death Stranding 2, you throw in your great third-party lineup with Judas, Metal Gear, and Silent Hill. My main thing is, whatever the branding is, it needs to fucking mean something again. I am on this, dude. I am looking at myself. I am very much on this mic. Anyways, I am very understanding of this branding and what showcases used to mean. And showcases used to mean you get 2 to 3. Blessing Out of Junior from Kind of Funny said it very well after the 2023 showcase. If you were to tell me ever that Sony would have a showcase and not show a single third-person over-the-shoulder action game, whether it's Uncharted, God of War, Spider-Man, Horizon.
Spider-Man in 2023. Right?
Oh yeah, or announce something new.
Oh, yeah.
I would be losing my fucking mind, and I am losing my mind. I cannot believe that they did that last year, and I'm in the boat of if it's a showcase, you need to come out with some swingers, and I'm okay if they don't have it, because seemingly right now we're coming off of a impressive state of play, in my opinion. A very impressive state of play, where you just had terrific third party after terrific third party. Now you need to come in with some first party goodness. If it is this year, you just want to show off something, it needs to be that. There's one studio that just needs to show up. I need to hear O'Connor, and their name is Blue Point. Okay, I want Blue
forgot
Point's
about Blue
next
Point.
fucking game.
Yeah, you show Ghosts and Blue Point's next game, you're golden. And
Also,
I think it's a remake, and you think it's a.
I think it's new IP
game.
because
Yeah.
they said it's new IP.
They didn't. They hinted at.
They said we want to work on not a remake. Anyways,
Housemarque as well. They could be ready to go soon.
2020. My thing is the timeline. We just need to push back. It's 5 to 6 years for a development cycle. It's 5 to 6 years.
It's so crazy, and this is going to be a hot take at some point for me that like a studio like Remedy can make games for $25-50 million, and there's like and they look like they do.
Yeah.
And there's like a budgeting issue where like Spider-Man 2 costs like $350 million. Like, what are you doing with that money? Like, Alan Wake 2 looks better than Spider-Man 2, like objectively, like way better. So, like, what did you do with that money? Where is it going?
Creating an open world, it takes a lot of money for it to all look as good as it needs to.
You can say that about, but also with The Last of Us and all these AAA Sony first-party games that cost $250, $300 million, and it keeps going up.
I mean, Remedy,
where is all the money going?
It's true, but Remedy just does it fucking different.
So we need to figure out what they're doing.
Yep.
Sony needs to figure out what they're doing and do that.
Also, Sony, just buy Remedy.
Yeah.
Just do it. Or you want to know something else? Xbox. Buy Remedy.
Yeah,
holy shit,
they had him too for a long, because Alan Wake was a Xbox exclusive, and then Quantum Break as well.
So that might be one of Xbox's biggest fumbles. Ever.
And they let them buy back the Alan Wake IP.
Yeah, but with this idea of a showcase or whatever is coming down the pipeline, my main thing is we need to all just take a moment and remember that there's a little game called Final Fantasy VII Rebirth that is all that matters this year. My main thing is
you're out of your mind.
Nick,
they need more games than that.
I know, but if they have an exclusive deal with this game, and it is going to win Game of the Year.
I don't think that's guaranteed.
I don't think it's guaranteed either. But if it wins Game of the Year, and you give me one other little, like, I think Astros is a perfect thing. I'm happy with Astros.
You're wild.
And
I mean, we talked about this with
and Helldivers.
We talked about this with your take about the PS5 ending up being the greatest console of all time. This is the worst, in my opinion. This might be like one of the worst console libraries ever. Like I legitimately can't believe. I
love some of these. I adore some of these games though. Helldivers is fucking awesome. I think Helldivers could be a Game of the Year contender, and I think that's not even a bad take.
I think by the end of this generation, we have 10 titles that you look at the PS5 for.
Connor,
in a similar way that you look at the N64 for.
Connor, what's the better game? It Takes Two or Helldivers?
It Takes Two.
I think Helldivers is a better game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what that has to do with anything.
I was just saying, in my mind, could this be better than a Game of the Year winner? And I think that Hellblade or Helldivers is. But yeah.
Finally, the PlayStation 5 Pro.
Yeah.
Day one.
What? Day one. Yeah. That's a day one for all of us, I think, for me, you, and Brady.
60 frames per second on more games, playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, where it doesn't look like a PS4 game would be nice.
I just play Rebirth on 30, and I'm fine with it.
You play Rebirth on 30?
Yeah, we discussed this. I went and I switched to performance mode. I'm like, I think the graphics, when I was reviewing it, I was like, the graphics take such a hit. I prefer the graphics over the performance.
You're out of your gourd, dude.
And Connor, most people do this.
I know.
Casuals
do it. Casuals do it.
Yeah, casuals do it, but also we're called the casual gaming conversation. Like
we aren't casuals.
I understand. But yeah, I think that we're gonna get a PS5 Pro. I think that it is this year. That is the other thing why I'm like, you kind of gotta do a showcase if it is this year and it is a Pro.
I think we'll do a showcase.
Yeah, I hope it's a showcase, but
yeah, I don't think it's a state of play.
If it's a showcase, by the way, this past week I rewatched the 2023 showcase. This is why it's so fresh in my mind. I don't know if I've ever been more disappointed in any showcase ever.
Yeah,
because this was supposed to be the announcement of the next phase of PlayStation. We close it out. We understand that Spider-Man is the first up to bat in this next phase. What's really coming next? And they just whiffed so hard. And I think that you said it very well of like, where's the hype? Where's the carrot at the end of the stick being like, this is actually a guarantee that is super exciting. Obviously, it cannot be stated enough. This year was supposed to be Last of Us Factions. This year was 100% supposed to be this year, and that was going to be the big PlayStation game for this year. And it's not here, and I think that's why they are like, cool. 2024 will not have a tentpole of a expected franchise, but as we look to.
But the reason that they don't announce things at this point far in advance is because of the Last of Us faction situation. Yeah. It's more embarrassing and more damning to your brand to announce something and cancel it than to just not announce something and cancel it behind closed doors, basically, and have people not even know that it existed.
Absolutely. So,
all right, moving on to Nintendo here. Nintendo's in a weird middle period as well. We thought we were going to get a Switch successor this year.
Yep.
Doesn't seem like it's going to be happening, which is very disappointing. So they're in a weird spot. We have Thousand Year Door coming up here.
Luigi's Mansion 2 port.
And that
just came out with Peach Showtime.
And that's it, right? Do we have anything further?
We have nothing. And so the question is, when do we hear from them next? Is it after Thousand Year Door? I'm in the boat that
it is, right?
Probably we're gonna hear from them after Thousand Year Door.
We get a.
You think it's Summer Showcase?
Direct, yeah.
The issue with the direct for the summer to explain what's happening next, I'm at the point that I think you need to show a console before you do another direct.
I don't agree. I think you
by the way, that makes no sense marketing wise, but that is how bad of a situation that we are currently in.
The way that you get by it is you
release Metroid Prime 4.
That's a good one. Or you do the Zelda ports.
Do you think Metroid Prime 4 and Zelda ports are enough actually, that's a great direct if you have Prime 4.
That's a great year.
It's a great year if you get Metroid Prime 4 on there. My issue is Metroid Prime 4, and I've said this for almost a year now. It needs to be a showcase for the console.
Yeah,
that game needs to look fucking awesome. It needs to look like a PS4 game. And I'm not even saying like 2016 PS4 game. I'm not even talking about like Last of Us Part 2 level or Red Dead 2. I'm saying like this just needs to look like a PS4 generation type game. And you're not going to be I don't want to play Metroid Prime 4 on the Switch. I don't. And so it needs to be next year. The ports, I think, do a very good job of getting you to tide over. I think that it makes sense. I also think that the way that Jeff Grubb has talked about it, they're done. This is a break glass in case of emergency sort of situation. And it is an emergency now. We don't have fucking games. We need a
Metro Prime?
Well, no, for the ports.
Oh.
The ports have been done for a while, is my understanding of it. Those exist and they're done.
Yeah.
So you just break the glass, you pull them out, and you say, here's one in September, here's one in November.
You could honestly, you should probably sell them separately, but you could also package it with a Skyward Sword and just be like, okay, this is the trilogy of games.
Yeah, but that would make way less money, Connor.
100%. You sell both of those for $60.
Sure. Yeah. So throw them Connor, they're doing certain things for $70 now. Throw them out there for $70.
You sell it for $60, and I'm buying that shit for sure.
But going back, PlayStation gut check. I want to double check on this. Gut check.
Bad.
Where you at? Bad?
Yeah.
I agree. I think that you need.
I feel bad about the whole industry right now.
Yeah.
I feel bad about the major players in general, but I feel good about the third party.
I was about to say third party is so damn good. Where my question is, where do we get the Judas release date? And I think it's Summer Game Fest.
Yeah.
And I think it's this year.
That'd be awesome. Also, Stellar Blade. I forgot to talk about Stellar
Blade.
Oh,
Stellar Blade's gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah, apparently everybody's loving it. I'm not touching the demo because I would like to just hop in and play it.
I watched Mr. Andy Cortez play through the demo, and I'm like, yeah, that's a game.
Are you gonna play it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought I was the only one who's gonna play it.
We asked for 2 codes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Nintendo really doesn't have much to talk about other than what we think is going to come for the rest of the year, which we just hit. Reveal October for Switch 2.
If it's,
I think that makes sense.
Do it the same way, but
direct in July, and then
reveal in October, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
That it's the same sort of rollout as before, and then a showcase in January, and then a release in March. That makes sense. The issue is, it almost feels like as a Nintendo fan, we're starving so much that I almost don't want them to say anything until we get the console. Like that is how bad they need the fucking console, and that's why I said I almost prefer them to just show it, because the lack of faith that is there right now is intense. I think that
I don't know. Like, they don't really need. They've built up so much goodwill that it doesn't really matter.
Let me break this down for you. It's June, summer showcase season, favorite time of the year. We just had a great Xbox showcase on Sunday. It's Tuesday. It's Monday. They announced the direct for Tuesday. Opens with ports, closes with Metroid Prime 4. We get some sort of no gameplay from Metroid Prime 4. Some sort of cinematic. That's not just the Metroid Prime 4 sort of thing that we got for. It says 2025 on it. That's a great fucking showcase.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for that. But it is very clearly, this is going to be a cross-gen game.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like, which is great. Like, that's the thing. That they need to just buy time, and I think that with the ports, you do that. And
I think Sony's in a similar spot where they need to fucking buy time to put some faith in you.
Which is bad mid-gen. It's bad for, but it's less bad for Nintendo to just be trying to wait until they're done.
But it's also true that we've discussed this a lot between Ronin, a game that I think is really great due to just the combat being phenomenal. You think is just good or aight or whatever word you want to use for it.
Yeah.
And I think that between that remake, which is exclusive, Rebirth, which is exclusive, and Stellar Blade, it's like it looks like we have a great first half of the year. It's now just about getting the answers. We have no
you can't
answers.
Have nothing in the second half of the year.
Yeah, but I think that we are in a nice dry period. We're able to catch up on certain things.
No, I'm not even mad about it.
I think we're both stoked that that's the case.
Yeah.
We finally have a fucking moment to ourselves. February, it felt like we were reviewing a game every single weekend. End of January for me, I reviewed. I think this is technically the second weekend I've not been on review since the start of or mid-January, which is exciting and nice, and I'm happy about it. So give me great games, but and then gut check on Nintendo. Just
I mean, like very
bad.
Yeah, for the most part, just like not optimistic.
So we're feeling
for this year. For this year, I don't feel good. I think their future is really strong.
So who are you feeling the best on for this year?
Xbox probably, but it's still one of the situations that like I still don't feel great about Xbox because I'll believe it when I see it.
Ready?
Draft time?
Yeah, draft time. Draft clock. Oh wait. Oh yeah, draft clock.
Oh, I just rubbed my eye and I don't. Is it all red?
No, you're good.
Okay. And you get the first pick.
Ooh.
So you should intro it, right?
Sure. Today, we are drafting the best video game sidekicks. We did a Keep 5 Cut 5 for this, and I want to get my input on this, on who is the immediate keep. Because I get the first pick, and I am choosing Victor Sullivan, Uncharted fame.
My number one as well.
Yes. Victor Sullivan is one of the coolest characters. He's just the Jedi master to the Padawan that is Nathan Drake, but he also is badass in his own right. He holds his own, so much so that I may or may not have been very clear that I want to name my kid Sullivan after Victor James Sullivan. All right. Guy's awesome. Love Sully from the Uncharted games.
With my first pick, I'm going to go with a ride or die, Cortana from Halo. Just a character that is quippy and funny and awesome, but then also gets development in Halo 4 and onwards. I like the development in Halo 4. I know a lot of people don't love the direction they've taken the game since then, but Cortana has been there since day one and is an amazing character. Cortana with my first pick. With my second pick, we're going to go with Elizabeth from BioShock Infinite. Another one of those characters who might be the star of the game to Booker DeWitt. Like, he is great and interesting and cool, but, like, Elizabeth is the character there. And her engagement in gameplay, throwing you money, throwing you med packs, throwing you ammo. She's awesome. Elizabeth with my second pick.
I just won the draft with Connor throwing out those two picks. I thought that he would take one of these two, whether it be for icon status or for great characters.
I'm just picking good characters.
I know.
You're about to pick Luigi.
I'm going to pick a great character in Ellie from The Last of Us 1. Great sidekick. No,
that's a protagonist.
That is the definition of a sidekick in the first game.
Yeah.
We're not choosing the second game. We're choosing the first game. So I'm going to choose Ellie, one of the greatest video game characters of all time, let alone sidekick in the first Last of Us. And by the way, for this pick, it is The Last of Us. I'm taking Ellie from The Last of Us. I don't get The Last of Us 2 with this pick. And then with my next pick, I'm going to take Luigi. Get the Luigi slander out of here. The dude holds his own to his brother, okay? That's messed up. You're coming in with Luigi slander?
Yeah.
Sonic slander, Luigi slander. What's fucking next with this cat? God damn.
With my third pick, I'm going to go with Diddy Kong. Dude's just a legend.
Not on my board.
Diddy Kong's Quest. No, Diddy's Conquest. He has his own game where he's the star, but in Donkey Kong Country, he's ride or die with Donkey Kong. Amazing character. Love Diddy Kong. Just has persisted in my mind for years. With my fourth pick, we're going to go with Clank. Awesome character, funny, ridiculous, amazing gameplay, great partner to Ratchet. Love me some Clank. Going Clank with my fourth pick.
All right, so I have 4 and 5 left. I got these last 2 picks, and for a moment I was just like, oh, I just need one more, but I'm going to go with 2 here. With my next pick, I'm going to go with someone that Connor's not a huge fan of. I'm going to choose Atreus from God of War and God of War Ragnarok.
Atreus sucks, dude.
God of War Ragnarok develops his character into an amazing character. I don't want to go too in depth on it, but I love Atreus in Ragnarok. I love his relationship with Kratos in the first game. Sure, he sucks because he's a sniveling kid that just like is trying his best, but the relationship with Kratos allows him to develop. They develop off each other. It's Atreus is teaching Kratos to be human, and Kratos is teaching Atreus how to be a god. It's fucking awesome. I love their character dynamic, and they're my next choice. And to close it out, I'm choosing Torgal from Final Fantasy 16. Torgal is genuinely one of the coolest characters in gaming. There's certain moments where where Clive is down and out, and Torgal comes in and saves the day, and you're just like, that's my fucking dog, baby. I love Torgal. I could have gone with Tails just to fuck with Connor a little bit. I could have gone with a couple other characters. Could have gone with somebody from Mass Effect 2, but I went with Torgal for a personal pick.
With my fifth pick, Nick, can love bloom on the battlefield? We're going to go with Otacon from Metal Gear Solid. Love me some Otacon. He's a great character. Just like totally has Snake's back. He's awesome. Otacon with my final pick.
I saw him on a lot of lists as someone that's just met Otacon 2 nights ago.
He's awesome in 2 as well, dude.
Dude, the worst part right now, and now that we're like just closing out the pod and everything, I genuinely, when we were playing Final Fantasy 7, I really enjoyed getting to play that on stream because it was like, okay, this is a game I want to play a couple times a week, but it's not like a game I want to run through or anything. When we're playing FF9, similar deal. Great. RE7, because I was so scared, I was like, it's kind of nice to get the breaks. Playing Metal Gear Solid right now, it is all I want to do. It is all I can think about. It is all I am so in right now. It's insane how in I am. Like so I'm obsessed. Like I want to play this fucking game. Stream schedule. We might switch some things around and start streaming at 6:30 this week for my personal stream, so I can play for 3.5 hours compared to, and hopefully catch up on some of the time that I lost at. A little fun streaming story before we close it out. I didn't save when I played through.
Did you not? You just didn't save.
Just didn't save.
Oh my goodness!
It's
an old game, Nick.
What?
It's an old game. You have to save.
I know. And so collections should give you autosave. Anyways, no. I go and boot up, and I immediately was just like, fuck.
Gotta call me Ling, dude.
So then I went and sped through. In like 40 minutes, 3 hours of streaming, I did in 40 minutes. Obviously, I went through all the cutscenes and just fast forward, so it made it a lot easier.
Oh yeah, because there's so much of that game is cutscenes.
Yeah, the game is oops all cutscenes, but it's great.
It's
so cool,
crazy, dude.
So cool. But yeah, I was playing through it and I got through it in like 40 minutes, and then going through the next section and playing for another hour and a half. All I could think about was just Cyborg Ninja.
Badass, dude. Just so cool.
Revolver Ocelot might be the coolest name ever.
Vulcan Raven,
dude. Just
it's so cool.
There's no this
Vulcan
game,
Raven's in the tank in the
yeah, I believe so.
He'll come back later.
Oh yeah, because he's not. You don't take him out. But yeah, and
then also Foxhound being the name of the group and everything. Everything about it is so fucking cool.
No, what they did with this game is they're like, let's just make the coolest shit ever.
Yeah.
And to nail it in the way that they did, it is unbelievable.
Deep Throat.
There's Deep Throat in the game.
Dude, what is Kojima on, man?
I mean, hey,
Meryl.
The characters are so good. And when Connor, like, I will never forget it. When I'm reading through and Connor has Metal Gear at number 10 on the greatest games of all time list, I legitimately thought to myself, I was like, oh, that's just like
a legacy pick.
You're trying to sort of cater towards these people that understand, like, gaming for a long time. This is a 27-year-old writing this list. You played it this, but like, sure, it makes sense. Then I started playing. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. This could this could leave as one of this could leave as the best game I've ever played. Is sort of what I'm realizing. So it is that damn good.
All right, that was your casual gaming conversation for this week. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us. Somebody pointed out we're halfway to 64.
Yep,
which is funny. So we're getting there.
What's the 64th episode spectacular? Do we just play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth the entire day?
No,
just do it.
I don't think we celebrate 64. I think we'll celebrate 100,
200, 300. Yeah.
50 is like a cool, like, oh, nice. Or 52 is like, we've been doing this for a year.
Yeah.
So stuff like that would be nice. But all right, thank you guys so much for watching this week. We'll see you next week. Peace out.